How's it going, everybody? My name is Noah Holley, and welcome back to another episode of the Pride Report. Once again, I'm joined alongside by Sean Bock. How's it going, Sean?
No, it's going well, my man. A lot of recording, a lot of preview of big conference tournaments. It's March, baby. This is what we look for. I'm ready to get going.
As am I. All right, so in today's show, we're going to be breaking down the Big East tournament in the second episode of our 5-part Champ Week preview series. If you want to check out the ACC episode that was released at the same time as this show, a link will be in the description below. And if you want to check out the SEC, Big 12, and Pac 12 shows, those will be out tomorrow. Now, here's how these episodes are going to work. First, we're going to take a look at the bracket. Then we're going to talk about the major storylines, break the tournament down from a bracketology standpoint, and each share our winner and dark horse. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Big East bracket. The first round will get underway tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden, which hosted the Big Ten tournament last week. Every game will be on Fox Sports 1 with the exception of the championship game on Saturday, which will be on Fox. The two favorites are Villanova and Xavier. Despite being swept in the season series with Villanova, Xavier earned the top overall seed in the bracket. I anticipate that we will see a third meeting, however, which would give the Musketeers a chance at revenge. We'll take more looks at the bracket throughout this episode. For now, however, let's get to you, Sean, for the event's biggest storylines.
All right, so let's get going. Starting with the number 10 seed, let's talk about St. John's. Do they have any more magic left in the tank to make a run? So, as we know, St. John's started Big East play 0-11 and then went on to beat Duke and Villanova in back-to-back games, two legitimate contenders for the national championship. And then they also defeated Marquette and DePaul. And then after that run, the Red Storms lost 3 of the last 4, but are competing and making sure teams know they aren't a fluke. The one setback, though, is that Shamori Pond. He was on a tear before not playing in the last 2 regular season games. They beat Butler without him, which is a huge plus. And head coach Chris Moulton said today, we'll practice later today and see how he's feeling. So Pond hasn't practiced at all since sustaining the abdomen injury. Their first round matchups against Georgetown, who's on a 4-game losing streak and just got destroyed by Villanova. Jesse Govan has been putting up really good numbers lately, 22.5 points during that skid. And the Holley will be up for this matchup for sure since it's Mullen versus Elaine. It's been a group effort without Pons for sure. I mean, Justin Simon has stepped up, scoring 18.5 points per game in Pons' absence. Bashir Ahmed and Marvin Clark have also been picking up the scoring slack. But these are the only 3 active players who score in double digits for the Red Storm. They've had to rely on a lot of their defense this year, 19th in the country for KenPom, and they just need to be more consistent on the offensive end in order to be a threat. If they can get past Georgetown and match up with Xavier is waiting for them in the next round. Both times against Xavier, St. John's has kept it close, but weren't able to get it done in the end. So if they can defeat Georgetown, the game against Xavier would be an interesting one, especially if Pons is back in the lineup, as he averaged 24.5 points in the 2 games they played against the Musketeers, including 31 in the second matchup. So if Pons comes back, I think they have a chance to make the semifinals. But if he's not at 100%, it'll be a whole lot tougher for this team to make a run at it. So, like I said, if they can get past Georgetown, people will be like, oh, wow, this St. John's team, there's some March Madness, baby. But I don't think it'll be enough. And I think Chris Mullen and the Red Storm are going to wait a couple more years to really be relevant in the Big East again. And so the next storyline is going to be who has the best chance to knock off Nova or Xavier. It's the number 3 seed, Seton Hall. I like their pieces. They're one of the most experienced groups in the tournament. The one major concern is Desi Rodriguez's status. He should be good to go for Seton Hall senior night. So that'll be an interesting storyline to see if his health can stay up. Yes, this team has talent, but I'm not sure if they have enough weapons to take the crown. A lot of their offense relies on Angel Delgado and him getting touches almost every possession. Experience is definitely a bonus, but I'm not sure it'll be enough to prevail. We'll see, though. The number 4 seed, Great Blue Jays. The loss of Martin Krempel has put a damper on their chances. They've gone 6-5 without him and haven't been able to string together a couple wins, as they haven't won more than 2 games in a row during that span. Marcus Foster is playing some great basketball, scoring 25.7 points per game the last 3 games. And guards have to take it, like we said, to making a run in March. Alongside of them, Kyrie Thomas has scored at least 16 or more points in his last 8 outings and shooting the ball at the high rate. Ronnie Harrell's status is a question mark, though. He He's been out the last 3 games. He warmed up against Marquette the other day, but didn't see the floor. Injuries have just been tough for this team, man. I mean, Kirkle going down, Harrell going down. If they can stay healthy, they can be a legitimate contender in this Big East tournament and then into the NCAA tournament too. But offense has been the story for them as well. If they can click offensively like they had most of the year, they should be fine, but they need to sharpen it up a little bit more on the defensive end. As for the number 5 seed, Providence, I've seen the Friars as a sexy sleeper pick to win the whole Big East tournament. I'm not really sure what all the buzz is about them. I've seen the trio of Rodney Bullock, Alpha Diallo, Carr and Cartwright. They're very solid. They'll need to step it up big time if they want to make a Big East run. They've had a hard time finding consistency. Watching Providence play this year, I haven't really been that impressed with them. They did put up some solid wins together at the beginning of the Big East play, but they haven't really done anything to make me buy stock in them, other than the win against Nova on February 14th. They're really just a hit or miss group. The last team, Butler, 6 seed, coming into the Big East tournament, they lost 2 games on the road at St. John, double overtime, and Seton Hall. In both those games, they didn't shoot particularly well, especially from 3-point land. They had the players, but sometimes they just rely a little bit on too much on Keelan Martin to score the ball for them. He had 35 against Seton Hall, was the only double-figure scorer for Butler, and the only other double-figure scorer for Butler was Tyler Wideman, who finished with 10 points. Their offense is solid, man, but the 3-point shooting defense is horrendous, as they rank 272nd in the nation in 3-point D per 10 pounds. So we'll see. Obviously, the 2 favorites, Villanova and Xavier, have been the best teams all year long. They boast really good guards, really good players, really good scorers, especially with Trayvon Blewett, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges. So this will be a fun tournament for sure. I think after those teams, it's really wide open.
Yeah.
I like Creighton. I think they're really a good dark horse team, as I should say. Just keep an eye on these lower seed teams because anyone can get hot in March and in the Big East tournament. And we've seen it in years past, and I think there's a very real chance that these top 2 seeds can get knocked off along the way.
All right, let's get into the bracketology talk. Now, as I mentioned earlier in this show, both Villanova and Xavier currently sit on the 1 line. I have Nova slightly ahead due to the head-to-head advantage. If these teams meet in the finale, the winner probably will get the higher overall seed. Either way, both will almost assuredly be 1 seeds, barring a first-round loss in this tournament. And as for the rest of the Big East, I have 4 other teams in the field and 1 on the outside looking in. Currently, Seton Hall sits on the 7 line. The Pirates have played considerably better as of late, but I still don't like their chances to make a deep run in this event as they went 0-4 against Villanova and Xavier in the regular season. I think the best case scenario for the Pirates is a win over Villanova, assuming that the 2 teams meet in the semifinals. A win over the Wildcats would put Seton Hall in the mix for as high as a 5 seed, but I doubt that we see that. And then we have Creighton, who is currently an 8 seed. Unlike Seton Hall, Creighton does have a win over a top 2 Big East team. It came against Villanova a little over a week ago. Their resume top to bottom isn't as good as the Pirates' resume. However, we also have Butler on the 9 line. Now, I would say the Bulldogs are safely in the field considering the current state of the bubble. Providence, on the other hand, is far from a safe bet. We talked about them a little bit earlier. The Friars were the only team to beat both Xavier and Villanova, which saves an otherwise subpar resume. Providence's 3 quadrant 4 losses mean that they are squarely on the bubble at the moment, however, making a first-round win over Creighton extremely important. And then finally, we have Marquette, who is in my first 4 out at the moment. As is the case with a lot of major conference teams on the outside looking in, the Golden Eagles have a great opportunity to earn an NCAA tournament bid. Barring an upset loss to DePaul in the first round, Marquette will have a great opportunity to earn a signature win against a Villanova team that they have played tough in both meetings this season. If they win that game, they are in the field. Otherwise, it does not look good for Marquette. All right, now let's get into our predictions for the Big East tournament. We're each going to be talking about our dark horse and our favorite to win the event. We'll start with the dark horse. Sean, what is one team that you think could surprise in Madison Square Garden this week?
Well, I've been going back and forth on this between Seton Hall and Creighton. And in the end, I got to take the Blue Jays. I talked about earlier, they have a great offensive team. Marcus Foster and Kyrie Thomas are 2 of the best guards in the Big East. Probably the second best, or third, maybe third, guard duo behind Andrew Rousey, Marcus Howard, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson. But man, these guys, they can compete, and I think that's the answer for this Creighton team. We've seen in years past that the guards are really the ticket for making a deep run in March, and I think this year's going to be no different. I think definitely with the injuries to Ronnie Harrell and then the loss of Martin Carpool definitely stings, but this team, I think this team's a team of destiny. If they shoot the ball well from the field, they limit their turnovers, and they kind of get after it on the defensive end. I think they'll make it a run. I'm not predicting a championship, but a semifinal berth is a very real possibility.
My dark horse is Marquette. The Golden Eagles are a serious long shot, but like I said earlier, they have hung tight with Villanova twice this season. Now, this is the best three-point shooting team in the country, so if they can get hot, they will have a good chance to beat the Wildcats, or anybody in the bracket for that matter. We've talked before, Sean, about the importance of guard play in March. Well, Marquette has a great backcourt duo in Marcus Howard and Andrew Rousey, two incredibly high-profile scorers who have been killing it as of late, especially from downtown. Sam Hauser is another big-time scorer in the backcourt. He is arguably just as dangerous or even more dangerous from three-point land than Howard or Rousey. All in all, we're talking about a team that can outscore anybody. Defense is a question, but the offense is as efficient as any in the country. If they can stay hot from downtown, a run in the Big East tournament is not out of the question. As for my projected champion, I'm going to say Villanova. The Wildcats are the most complete team in this conference, in my opinion. With everyone healthy, which hasn't always been the case this year for the Wildcats, Villanova is one of the toughest teams to beat in all of college basketball. Another reason I'm taking Nova is their performance against Xavier this season. The Wildcats dominated the Musketeers in both meetings this season. It's one of those matchups in which Xavier's defensive inabilities really catch up to them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar result if the teams meet for a third time in the championship. But I'll get to you, Sean. Who do you have winning the Big East tournament this year?
I got the Wildcats, man. Villanova. I hate to go with the favorites, but it's just too difficult for me to bet against them. I think the loss to Creighton on February 24th was a fluke. The Blue Jays shot the absolute crap out of the ball. Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, should be player of the year in college basketball. He's going to be the sole reason the Wildcats make a run this year. And not only the Big East tournament, but the NCAA tournament. Mikal Bridges as well has also been fantastic this year. I know a lot of people know about him now, but I think March is going to be a huge month for him. It will be a sure lottery pick at the conclusion of the madness. In addition, Jay Wright, just not a coach I want to bet against. He knows how to get his guys ready. He's been here before. He's experienced. He's going to have his team ready to go, and I'm excited to see what they can do. And this team, man, they just gel so well together, and they understand what they need to do to win ball games. And if healthy, I think Nova's the clear-cut favorite to cut down the nets in MSG at the end of the week, and maybe the NCAA tournament.
All right, that is going to wrap up this episode. Once again, if you want to catch our other conference tournament previews, we've done one for the ACC that I will link you to in the description. We're also going to be doing the Big 12, SEC, and Pac-12 tomorrow, so be sure to look out for that as well. We'll see you guys.